All right. So good evening all. Welcome to Vedic Mathematics Part 2. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes before we actually begin. So I'll just set in the video and just start looking at the chat as I get a response. Yes. So we have a couple of students who have already joined. I'll just make the video quality a little bit higher here. In the meantime, you can let me know if you can hear my audio and video properly. All right. Hi, Adityan. So kindly wait for a few more minutes before we officially begin. So good evening, Ramesh. Hi, Rajeshwari. So I see a lot of returning students from part 1. So Adityan is one of them. Yeah, good evening once again, Adityan. All right. So till we begin, you can just look into the slide and imagine what this picture is looking like, and maybe you can make a guess of what the picture is. So when the lecture begins, I'll just give a story behind this picture. So hope the video and audio are clear. Adityan, could you confirm if you can hear and see me properly? Give a thumbs up. Is it proper? Yeah, Hansika says yes. Okay, thank you, Hansika. Yeah, thank you, Aditya. So in the meantime, those who are joining, just see this picture and guess what this picture is. Hi, Rajeshwari once again. Yeah, thank you for the comment. Hi, Think. So YouTube has this facility of giving different names. So what's your name, Think? Okay. Okay, Think says it's a tree. It's close, but not quite. Right. Okay. Good guesses. Yes. Sai says it's a tree. Yes. Hi, Vaishnavi. Let's wait for maybe a couple of minutes more before we can start it officially. Okay, Think says it is a tree from the downside. Okay, getting closer. All right. Adityan also says it's a tree. Very nice. Okay. All right. So we have almost 10 people joined. Yeah, I think all of you agree that approximately it is a tree, which is in fact correct. It's a tree, but it's not taken using an ordinary photograph, right? It's a different kind of photograph. That's what I'm looking for. It's a tree because you can see the branches of the tree and some leaves here and there. So what kind of image is it? Have you seen such a tree before? Except for your green tree, which is standing like maybe outside your house or something. So this is quite a different tree. So it's what is called as a spectral tree. Spectral because it's not using an ordinary camera that you have on your phone, but it's taken using a different camera which has kind of it allows you to access other frequencies or spectra, other colors. Okay, mixed color tree. Nice answers. All right. So last 1 minute, any of you who have joined can also guess what this image is. So I can see 3 new students have joined. So what does this image here represent? Most of you are saying it's a tree. Yeah, I think all of you have reached the answer that it is a tree. But how was this tree photographed? That's what is the question. All right. By the way, everybody is able to see the video properly, the images, etc. Are you able to see it properly? If you see it properly, just give a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Think says it's a painting. It can be a painting, but I don't think so. It's a painting. It is a special kind of camera, similar to your IR camera. So it is kind of a heat image or something like that. Okay, so I think we are pretty much 5 minutes into the class, so we can start from here. So let me just welcome you to the second part of Vedic mathematics, and the title here that we use is Where Science Meets Art. So you know art, right? Everyone loves one or the other art, and you pursue one of the art as your hobbies, be it music, be it painting, be it dancing or something. So have you ever wondered whether there is a science behind the art? So here is what we will look into, whether we can connect science with art. Okay, so today's lecture or session will be more or less like ramping up. We'll do some warm-up exercises to recall what we have done in part 1. So I think it is almost 1 month has been over since we covered part 1. So we'll do a quick revision of what we had learned earlier, and we'll just go on with more and more stories to add more and more learning of Vedic mathematics. Okay. So as always, I'm going to start with a story. So what you can do is, if you have any clarification or doubt, you can put that in the chat box. I'll pause for some time after a particular concept, and I'll take questions from the chat box. So kindly try to post your questions only at the time when I pause. I'll tell you where I'm going to pause, so that I'll be looking at the chat box and you can ask your questions or give your comments over there. Okay. So the first story I'll start with is an elephant. Elephant is a big animal, right? So the question that has come in the land of Elephant Stone, there is a kingdom called as Elephant Stone, and there is a king, a prince, and his minister, the king's minister. Okay, so this is the king. I'll write K here. This is the prince, the son of the king, and there is this minister M. All right. Now the king wants to weigh the elephant which is guarding his palace. So the king is asking in his court whether anybody can find the weight of the elephant. Okay. So the prince is a very little boy, maybe 10 years old or something. So he was very curious and he was very confident that he could weigh the elephant. So he jumped and said, I'll go to the market and get a weighing machine which is suitable for weighing the elephant. Now, the king did not laugh at it, but he allowed his son to explore the market and to see whether he could find a suitable measuring equipment on which he could weigh the elephant. The minister was thinking that the prince is going to have a very tough day. Okay. So starting at the morning, the prince went to the market and searched from shop to shop. From street to street he went in search of a weighing machine which can measure the weight of this elephant. Now, did he find one? Unfortunately, no. So by evening he was quite tired and he came back to the palace and told the king that he is not able to find a weighing machine to weigh the elephant. Now, the king turned to the minister and asked the same question. Now you go and weigh the elephant. Now the minister is quite clever. So what he does is that he takes the elephant to a river which is nearby the palace, and he sees a boat standing there. It's a quite large boat, and he carefully asks his assistants to make the elephant stand on the boat. So the elephant steps into the boat, and what happens as the elephant steps in? The water level is going to rise. So you can see markers or some marks are there on the boat. So the water level rose till a particular point when the elephant climbed on the boat. Now he asked the guards to remove the elephant from the boat, and what he did is he put large concrete blocks of say 1000 kg each, so that the water will come to the level that he had marked over there. So you can see what difference the minister and the prince did. The prince was confident that he will be able to find a weighing machine suitable for the elephant to stand. But the minister thought very differently. He just understood that the elephant cannot be asked to stand on a weighing machine. So he had to invent something, right? Or he had to think differently. So this is what we are going to practice in Vedic mathematics also. We are going to think differently. Okay, so are you ready for this? So in part 1 we had taken a lot of tools to understand what is Vedic mathematics and how it is easier to do lot of problems using these methods of sutras. So in this particular part 2, we are going to advance a little bit more and take you to an intermediate level where you are able to solve problems like this story, where you will be able to use tools which is not taught by others naturally. Alright, so we'll have a lot of fun in learning these new sutras and how to apply these sutras. So knowing the sutras by heart is not a very tough task, but you should know where to use it intelligently. So this is, you have to pay a little bit attention and you have to do a little bit practice to understand how to be clever in doing numerical problems or algebraic problems. All right, so I think Sai has a doubt. So let me just allow Sai to ask. Sai, could you just type your question on the chat box? I'll try to answer that. All right, so till Sai asks that, let me just go to a quick recap of what Vedic mathematics is. So I'll just do this and then come back and take Sai's question. So we have already discussed what is Vedic mathematics, etc. in the previous part 1. Now here I am just doing a quick recap. So everybody recalls what the meaning of the word Veda is. The word Veda is the root word of Vedic. So what does the word Veda stand for? it is used in many Indian languages also. So if you know what is the meaning of Veda in Telugu, you can say that. What is in Hindi also, it is the same, and in most of the languages it remains the same. Okay, so I don't see anyone typing in the chat box. Quick, I'll give you 30 seconds. It's quite direct, and it's just one word. Still no answers. Okay, so let me just display. So the meaning of the word Veda is knowledge. It's not anything that relates to very ancient times or anything. Whatever knowledge is there in this universe, this is the subject matter of Vedas. And Vedic mathematics is specially evolved knowledge that is specialized to mathematical subjects. What are these mathematical subjects? There are numerous. So initially, these Vedic knowledge was passed by the word of mouth. A set of students would go to a teacher and request the teacher to teach them what is there in the Vedas. So Vedas are sometimes called as the textbooks of knowledge, and this was transmitted from one generation to the other through the process of Shruti. So Shruti meaning the teacher is passing the knowledge by word of mouth, and the students will keenly hear them. They don't have take notes or anything. Everything is stored in their memory. So you can see people who lived maybe 500 years or 1000 years back were very sharp in their memory. They could hear for 1 hour lecture and then reproduce the same lecture as it is, very without any doubt or without any missing of any word. So this was the process of Shruti. But now it is not possible. We have written material because we see that many of us cannot memorize as much as our ancestors could. So what are the subject matters that was dealt in this vast subject of Vedas? There were subjects dealing with grammar, astronomy, architecture, even warfare like archery, etc. All these were included, and it had other things to do with the study of the mind, which is psychology, philosophy, which is basically finding what is the theory behind everything, something like that. So in this subject of Vedic mathematics, we are especially inclined to some applications of astronomy, because the original subject of Vedic mathematics started from the people's questions on why these planets revolve around the sun, what is the duration for each planet to revolve around the sun, and many other questions. And even in warfare, there is a lot of mathematics that is involved, but we will not talk about that here. And another example is that of architecture, where it is very important to stick to mathematical concepts, because the structure, the stability of the structure, if you want the foundations of the building that you're constructing to be strong, you require some amount of mathematics to be applied on how or what combination of materials to be used, etc. Okay, so I can see questions in the chat box. Let me just pause for 1 minute and take them. So I didn't get any question from Sai. So let me just take one question from Babu Kumar. So he is asking what is the meaning of Shruti, right? It's not Stuti, it is Shruti. It is spelled here, Shruti. So Shruti meaning the knowledge that is passed on by the word of mouth. So the teacher just explains, there is no writing, only explanation is there, and the student keenly hears. So if you have gone to a music class, this is how usually it happens even today. So the teacher will explain one line of the song and the student just hears it. First, he doesn't write it down. So just by hearing, the knowledge was passed. So the student should be very attentive first of all, and secondly, he should have a very good memory. So that is the concept of Shruti. All right. So let's continue from here. So the specific knowledge about mathematics was mentioned in what is called as Ganita Sutras. So this is a class of texts which falls under the Vedas, which talks about Ganita Sutras, Ganita meaning mathematics, and Sutras meaning formulae. So especially these were used in ancient time to construct fire altars. So in ancient times they used to construct these monuments like temples, and there is fire altars where they'll do some kind of sacrifices. So for all these they required some geometrical concepts, and these were explained in the Ganita Sutras. Now if you just go and read these Ganita Sutras, these are originally written in Sanskrit, the reader will find that these are not mathematical, but actually the authors of these Vedas have written in such a manner that all of these are stories. So if you just read one line of this Ganita Sutras, you will not understand what is the mathematics in it. So there was one great Indian mathematician, Aryabhatta, who wrote commentaries on this Ganita Sutras. And in those commentaries, he explains how mathematics is explained through all these stories. So for a long time, these Ganita Sutras were not understood by even scholarly people. Okay. So one main reason why I am introducing a lot of stories here is also motivated by the stories in Ganita Sutras. Okay, it is very fun to learn mathematics through stories because you can easily relate to stories. Next is, in the present time we have this Vedic mathematics as a subject. It is taught in some of the schools. It is available in as a syllabus in some of the schools even. So it is due to the commentary written by Sri Bharati Krishna Tirthaji, whose picture is here, and he has given us 16 sutras. So sutras means only formula. He has given as formula 16 important formula which will make mathematics much more simpler for school students, for engineers, and for every other practitioner who is on a job. And we'll see many applications throughout this part 2. Okay, so let me just go to the next slide where I'm going to discuss what we are going to cover in this part 2 of Vedic mathematics. It's not very hard. Part 2 will just take you from a beginner to an intermediate. So the Olympics games have just concluded, right? So if you were going by the Olympic games, from a district level, you will get a promotion to the state level if you learn part 2 of Vedic mathematics. Okay, so that is the improvement that you're going to get. Now, if you want to go to national level, you have to attend part 3. All right. So for the international level, maybe I'll have to give you part 4 again. All right. So part 2 is mainly to equip you with ideas that will take you from the district level to the state level. All right. So here is a summary of topics that I'm going to cover. So in the first lecture, that is today, we are going to see number art. So I was explaining how science and art are related. So the figure, I don't know whether everybody saw the figure in the first page. So the figure in the first page was the image of a tree, but it's not taken using an ordinary camera. It is taken by using what is called as a hyperspectral camera. So the hyperspectral camera can see what the human eyes cannot see. Okay. So similarly is any science. So if you learn science, what you gain is that you can see things what you cannot see, or what is obvious to your eyes. All right. So just imagine the sunlight that you're getting. What you're getting on earth, what you see is just a yellow colored light, right? So you're only seeing only a part of the sunlight. You're not seeing the UV rays, you're not seeing the infrared rays, or you're not seeing the other radio waves. Your mobile is there, but you cannot see the mobile radio waves that are coming in. So if you understand science, you know that all these waves exist. The only thing is that I cannot see with my eyes. So there is art in everything. And behind every art, there is a very logical science that makes the art beautiful. So if you want to appreciate any art, for example, if you are learning music, if you want to appreciate music, you want to learn what is the science behind music. Why is the art form, why is that music very melodious? Why is that music quite rhythmic, etc. So today we are going to discuss some of these art forms that you can form using numbers. I'll show you enough examples so that you can go back and you can start making art just by using the ideas that we learn in Vedic mathematics. So today I will just cover about a topic called as Vedic Square and the 9-point circle. Okay. So I don't see much people interacting in the chat. Are you guys bored with the lecture by now? Am I boring you so much? So if you want to learn about number art today, just wave your hands or give a thumbs up. Okay, Adityan says he's not bored. Good. All right. So what about the others? I don't see any movement from the others. Manvita and Adityan says that they are interested in going ahead. Good. All right. So are there any questions? All right. So let me just move ahead, and I'm going to revise with you the idea of a 9-point circle. So anybody recalls what is this 9-point circle? We had already discussed in part 1 what it means, and we said that it is a clock that is used in Jupiter. All right. So let us see how this clock looks like. So in Earth, the clocks are having numbers or digits 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 12. It's actually numbers, not digits. 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 12. Because our duration of the day, which is called as a solar day, it is 24 hours. Whereas if you go to a planet like Mars, it is slightly longer. 25 hours makes one solar day for aliens in Mars. But if you go to Jupiter, it's approximately 10 hours. The solar day in Jupiter is 10 hours. So their day is very short. So here we have an alien from Jupiter, and he has brought this clock, and it has only numbers from 1 to 9. 1 to 9. So this is a planet where there is only 9 hours. All right. So only 9 hours are there. Now what is the use of this clock? The use of the clock is actually to compute something called as the digit sum. Recall this name. We had introduced digit sum earlier also. We called it as Navashesh. This is the This is the Vedic terminology, Vedic mathematics terminology. So the Navashesh is actually representing what is the digit sum, or in other words, it is explaining what is the kind of remainder when you divide by 9. All right. Yeah, I think many of you have commented it. Unfortunately, my video was running a little bit slow. Yeah, Manvita, Navashesh, do you recall what Navashesh is? We had already covered that in the previous part, but I am going to explain to you once again. All right. So I'm going to give you some examples. So take the number 10. The number 10. What are the digits in the number 10? It is 1 and 0. So Navashesh, another meaning of Navashesh is digit sum. So what you have to do is just add up the digits of 10, which is 1 plus 0. So 1 plus 0 will give you 1. Alright. So 10 has a Navashesh of 1. So what I can do is that in the 9-point circle, I can write the number 10 just above 1, because both of these have the same digit sum. Now take a number like 11. 11 contains the digits 1 and 1. So you can add these up and write 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Alright. So the digit sum of 11 is 2. So I can write it here. Now just by guessing, you can write 12 here, because the digit sum is going to be 3. 13 is here. 14 is here. 15 is here. 16, 17, 18. All right. Now for smaller numbers, it is very easy to compute the digits. Now I ask whether you can compute the digit sum of 215. So if you know the answer, you can post the answer in the chat box. I'll give you exactly 30 seconds. So the question is, can you find the digit sum of the number 215? So digit sum, as the definition goes, it is the sum of the digits in the number. Yeah, Adityan gives an answer. Yeah, Manvita also. What about the others? I only hear from Adityan and Manvita. Yeah, Chinna says it's 8. Yes, the answer is 8. It's correct. So where should I write 215? The number 215 is just written above 8 here. So there are many numbers in between, but 215 just belongs to the number above 8. I am going to give you some more examples to make this idea clear. So we have already seen 11 as an example. So 11, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and we had already written 11 here. 23, where does 23 come? 23 has a digit sum of 2 plus 3 or 5. So 23 can be written here. What about 45? 45 has a digit sum of 4 plus 5. What is 4 plus 5? 4 plus 5 is 9. So 9, meaning 45 will come here, just above 9, which is the topmost number. Now, the last example over here is the odd one out. You have to do digit sum twice. I'll explain you why. 46 is a 2-digit number. If you add 4 plus 6, what you get is 10. So it's a 2-digit number again. If you do digit sum, 4 plus 6 is a 2-digit number. But the digit sum should always result in a single digit number. So what you should do is again find the digit sum of 10. What is the digit sum of 10? It's 1 plus 0 or 1. So the number 46 is actually having a digit sum of 1. So what I should do is, I'll just erase these parts and write 46. I'll write 46 here. Understood? Everyone understood why 46 is written here? Now I am going to ask you one last question. What is the digit sum of 219? So everyone has to try and answer it within this time. I'll give you only 25 seconds. 5 seconds lesser. Try to do within the given time. It's quite direct. I can see the first answer coming from Adityan again. Yeah. What about the others? Yes, no, don't care. I think many of you are in the don't care mode. Yeah, Manvida gives the second answer. I'm waiting for the third answer. Manvida is always typing twice, probably wants to get my attention. What about others? Rajeshwari and Chinna. Have you got the answer? No. Last 5 seconds. All right. So the answer is 3. Why? Because 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 9 is 12. The sum of the digits of the number 12 is going to be 3. If you have not understood, I am going to expand it. 2 plus 1 plus 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 9 is going to be 12. So 12 is going to be 1 plus 2. Sorry, this should be an equal to sign, not a arrow. So this is an equal to sign. So I know that 2 plus 1 plus 9 is 12. 12 has a digit sum of 1 plus 2, which is 3. So I should write the number 219 somewhere here. Got it? Okay. Yeah, Rajeshwari says it's 12. It's correct. Good. So now we are going to go to a little bit more advanced level. We are going to learn what is called as the Vedic Square. In the previous slide, we discussed what is a circle. This is more like a geometry class. Now next we go to a square. All right. So in this square, I am writing the multiplication table. So if you see carefully, you can see a multiplication table here. So the first row, let me highlight that using the marker. All right, the first row over here, this is the multiplication table of 1. Can you see that? 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 1 is 5, etc. Go to row 2. It's a multiplication table of 2. 2 times 1, sorry, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, so on. What about third row? Obvious, right? It's a multiplication table of 3. What happens to the last row? It is a multiplication table of 9. So you all can see a multiplication table now. Now what I want you to do is, I'm going to give you another set of squares, and what you have to do is, if you have a paper and pen with you, try to find out what is the digit sum of each and every number that is written. So in the previous slide we introduced what is digit sum or the Navashesh. So here what I want all of you to do is, if you have a pen and paper in front of you, write the digit sum on each of these squares. So I'll help you with the first row. So the first row, the digit sum of 1, it's a single digit number, so the digit sum remains the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now, this is the chance for you. You have to fill in the second row. What you have to do is find the digit sum of all numbers that come in the second row. Meanwhile, what I will do is I will just fill in the third row. So 3, 6, 9. So you should write the answer using comma in the chat box. So if the answer is 3, 6, 9, you should write 3, 6, 9, etc. So here is 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. I'm going to use, I'm going to leave all the even columns, even rows for you, and I'm going to fill the others. Still nobody has written the answer in the chat box. 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. Yeah, Manvita gives the first answer. I'll wait for some other student also to answer in the chat box. Let me use a different color here. What about this 7? This is 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 13 is 4, 11 is 2, and this is 9. And I'm going to fill the last row. Right, let me use a different color, maybe green this time. Yeah. So 9, last row is quite easy because it's all 9s. So this is what you're going to get. So till now I have only received one answer from Manvita. What about Adityan? Are you trying it out? What about Rajeshwari, Chinna, Leelavati? What happened to that Think? What happened to Think? Is he still around? Yeah, so Rajeshwari gives the second answer. So I think both of you have given the same answer. So let us verify. So let me use this color. I don't know if it's visible. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8. All these are single digits, so no change. From 10, 10 has a digit sum of 1 plus 0 or 1. 12 has a digit sum of 1 plus 2, which is 3. 14 has a digit sum of 1 plus 4, which is 5. 16 has a digit sum of 1 plus 6 or 7. And 18 has a digit sum of 1 plus 8 or 9. Yeah. Yeah, so Manvita has gone to the fourth row and is doing so. Yeah, so all in one channel. Yeah, good evening. I think you are late for the class. It's okay, you can start doing this particular exercise. We are on Vedic Square. So what we are doing is we are finding what is called as the digit sum. So what you should do is you should pick up any number here, say in the number 10, and you should find what is the sum of the digits of this number. Number 10 has two digits, 1 and 0, so you add 1 and 0. That will give the answer as 1. For number 12, the digits are 1 and 2. So what you should do is 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, sorry, Karthik, I didn't know what your name was. Since the name in the chat is different, I am calling you Rajeshwari. Yeah, sorry, Karthik. I'll try to call you Karthik from now on. Yeah, Manvita has given the answer for the fourth row. So let us check whether that answer is correct. So all the single digit numbers remains as it is. So 4, 8, 12 becomes 1 plus 2, which is 3, 16 becomes 1 plus 6, which is 7, 20 becomes 2 plus 0, which is 2, 24 is 2 plus 4, 6. 28, be careful, 28 is 2 plus 8, which is 10. 10 is a 2-digit number, so again you have to do digit sum. 10 digit sum is 1. 32 is direct, 3 plus 2, which is 5. 36 is 9. All right. Okay, so Manvita is quite fast now. She has given the answers for the next 6th also. So what I'll do is I'll stop here and I'll display the answer. Now it's going to be a colorful image. So you can see an art in this Vedic square that is coming. So this is what it is when you fill it. Okay, it's a very colorful image. So if you have played a crossword puzzle, sometimes your crossword puzzle looks like this. So what I have done here is that I have taken every number on the right hand side square. What I have taken is, it is the digit sum of the left hand side square, and I have assigned one color to each of the digits from 1 to 9. So I have used 9 colors here. Now you have to form art from here. I can draw an example here. I can give you an example here. What I'll do is I'll take the number 3 and draw a butterfly. Okay. You should excuse me for my poor drawing. So these are the antennas of the butterfly. Okay, so let me just try and connect the other 3s. So there is a 3 here and there is a 3 here. Let me just try, how does a butterfly's wings look like? Maybe like this, and like this. Somebody who is a better artist can do much better than me. So this is approximately the shape of a butterfly. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I made a mistake. I don't know if I can go back. I didn't connect these two. Okay. All right, so what I'll do is I'll connect these two and connect like this. So this approximately is coming out to be a butterfly, but you can complete the image as you like. Okay. Okay, somebody says 1 3 is missing. Adityan. Okay. Yeah, Karthik is given some comment. Okay, right. Okay, this doesn't look like an exact butterfly, but you can work on it at home and make it a butterfly. Now take any number of your interest. Now I have just shown you 3. You can take any other number. So let me just erase this and I'll just take some other number. Maybe the number 7. 7 is a bit difficult one. I don't know what you can make out of 7. But still I'll give a try for 7. So there is a 7 here, here. Okay, 7 is along the diagonal. Okay, so what you can do is maybe I'll just draw a zigzag. Okay. So it will be zigzag like this, and maybe I can connect something like this. So it may be resembling, maybe if I connect these 7s, maybe something like a drum. Can you see a drum here? Maybe 2 drums collected together. Okay, somebody says it's like a flower. Oh, was my drawing so efficient? So Rohan Reddy says it's a flower. Okay, he can see a flower here. All right, so this art, there is no limitation. You can express your art in any way. So try to find more pictures like this. The butterfly was just an example that came into my mind, but you can take any number, any digit from here and you can create any art. All right. So Now I'm going to go to the next art form. What I'm going to do is just going to consider one particular row of this Vedic square, which is the fourth row, marked as the letter D. So what are the numbers that are coming here? The numbers are 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9. Now we can make a very beautiful Rangoli art out of it. How do we do it? So imagine that you have a scale which can measure from 1 to 10 centimeters. Okay. Now each of these numbers is length, is a measurement. So what I'll do is I'll start with the measurement 4 and I'll draw a line of 4 centimeters. Okay, so this is how I'm going to start with the Rangoli. And next I'll move on to the next number, which is 8. I don't know if this yellow line is visible on the screen. It's very hard to see, but bear with me, there is a yellow line over here. Then there is the third measurement, which is 3 centimeters. So every time I draw, I'll just draw 90 degrees. I'll just turn in the anti-clockwise direction. Sorry, in the clockwise direction. So if you see, the first line was, let me go back to the first line. So the first line was horizontal. The next line is vertical. So I'm just repeating horizontal, vertical. Okay. So every time I do this, you should do a 90-degree clockwise rotation. So the next line is like this, like this. So what is the measurement of this fourth line, the red line? It is 7. I have used the same color that I have used here. The red line is 7 centimeters. Next is 2 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 1 centimeter, 5 centimeter and 9 centimeters. So this will complete one round of this row. Now I can repeat it. After 9, I will go back to the beginning, which is 4. So if I do this, I'll get this particular pattern. Now if I repeat it once again, that pattern repeats, and this is my final Rangoli. If we want to color it, this is how the final colored pattern is looking like. So you can see a beautiful pattern has come just by taking measurements from this Vedic art. So next time during festival, if you want to draw some very beautiful patterns, you just have to take this Vedic square and take a ruler and just put the color according to the measurement in that ruler. So these numbers are the measurements. So it's quite simple. You need not be a very good artist to do all this, isn't it? You just need to know how to measure. You need to know how to rotate the line, etc. So in this weekend, I'll be giving you a creative exercise where I'll ask you to take any other row from this square, the Vedic square, and I'll give you some dots. So you can connect the dots where each dot will be 1 centimeter each. So that will be a very creative exercise for you. So did you enjoy this? If you enjoyed this, give a thumbs up in the chat box. Any doubts here? Okay, Manvita gives a thumbs up. Karthik, do you have some comments? Yeah, Adityan gives a thumbs up. So after the class, what you can do is you can either, if you can copy this image on your notebook, you can try this at home. So if you have some sketch pens or some beautiful colored pens or pencils with you, you can just try to draw this art, and it's a very creative way of spending your time. All right. So next I'm going to go for one last topic. So I'll just take this topic and I'll take some questions. So we have learned about the idea of Navashesh or the digit sum, and the digit sum can also lead to some patterns in the 9-point circle. So everybody recalls this is the 9-point circle. So 9-point circle, this is a very peculiar watch or clock that is not used in earth, but we can use it to learn Vedic mathematics. So here, the right hand side, I have given the multiplication table of 3, and I have written what is the digit sum also. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to draw lines between two numbers. So for example, the first number is 3 and it has a Navashesh of 3. So I'll start from here. Which is the next number? It is 6. So what I'll do is I'll connect 3 and 6. I should be a little bit careful. So 3 to 6, this should be a straight line. Now what is the next number? It is 9, right? So 6 to 9, I'll just draw another line. I think I should use okay, straight line. Okay, so 6 to 9 is a straight line, and the next is 3 times 4, which is 12. The digit sum of that is 3. So if you just draw only the digit sums, what you get is a triangle inside this 9-point circle. Now this is a very important geometrical fact. What is it called? Anybody knows? There is a triangle and you try to fit a circle around that triangle with the vertices touching the circle. It's a circumcircle, right? You are going to cover that triangle using a circle. So the 3's multiplication table, if you have understood what is the digit sum, you can create a triangle out of a circle. That is for 3. For each of the multiplication table, you can form a geometrical figure. Let us take the multiplication table of 7 now. Now what I am doing is, 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 14 has a digit sum of 5, 1 plus 4. Now if I compute all the digit sums, what I'll get is a connected diagram starting from 7, the next number being 5, the next number being 3, the next number being 1, and the next number being 8. So you can see that there is some relation that is coming out. After 8 it is 6. It is 6. Sorry for my wrong drawing. This is 6. 6 to 4. So you can see another connection. You will get a star-like figure. You can draw beautiful flowers that I think Karthik was mentioning earlier. Next is 2. After 2 it is 9. And after 9 it goes back to 7. So I'll connect 9 to 7. So you can see an approximate star. The only thing is that I have not drawn straight lines. That is why it's not looking like a star. Okay, Shushanta asks, what is a circumcircle? Okay, circumcircle. I'll explain that in a minute after I finish with this. So the exercise that we did is very simple. We took a multiplication table, wrote what is the digit sum of the answer, and we connected the digits one by one in the same order. So if you connect like this, you get geometrical figures that are very beautiful. Why they are beautiful? Because that pattern is there in the multiplication table itself. So I would ask you to try other multiplication tables. For example, 5 you can try. 9 is quite quite bad, because 9's multiplication table, all of the numbers will have a digit sum of 9. So only a single point will be there. But try any other multiplication table other than 9 and you will get very beautiful flowery pictures that are coming out. And let me go back to the question by Sushanda. So Sushanda is asking, what is the meaning of circumcircle? Okay, so circumcircle is, suppose you have a triangle. Okay, triangle has 3 vertices. Now a circle that passes through all the 3 vertices is what is called as a circumcircle. So if I were to connect, if I were to draw a circumcircle, it will look somewhat like this. I don't have a compass, so that's not looking like an exact circle, but this circle that I have drawn passes through all the vertices. That is what is the meaning of circumcircle. All right, it's a geometrical definition, but need not worry. I just introduced circumcircle because it was readily available here. Now, in the next class, what I'm going to talk to you is, I will use this particular picture and I will explain what is the position, how to find the planetary position of Jupiter using this particular geometrical figure. So given that you see Jupiter on the sky, which is the next time, or which day can you see Jupiter planet on the same position? You can calculate from this particular circle. I'll talk about that in the next class probably, or one of the 6 lectures that I'm planning. Okay, so I think time is up. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes to take questions. Others, I would like to convey that please be on time. So it's very important because we are on the part 2 of Vedic mathematics. So some of the concepts we have already covered. So I'll just do a quick revision always in the beginning of the lecture. So try to join exactly at 7 p.m. itself, so that we are all on the same page. Okay. So Sushanta, have you understood what is a circumcircle? I will not be using the idea of circumcircle again, but I have just defined since it has come naturally here. Anybody has doubts, further doubts? Adityan, Manvita? What about Karthik? I don't see any response. Is anybody there on the chat? Or have you just left? Okay, Adityan says no doubt. Okay, so we'll wind up here and let us meet on Saturday. So the next class is on Saturday, 7 p.m. So try to join at least 1 minute before, so that we can start on time and you will not have any kind of doubts regarding the previous concepts that we have learned. Okay, once again, thank you all for attending this session. So have a good night and we'll meet next on Saturday. Thank you once again and namaste.